All right, we are live, and I'm going to be looking up some card prices today, but I'll wait for some people to show up. I haven't live streamed in a few days at least. I'm actually supposed to attend a pre release here for Core Set 21. I'm doing a stream a little bit earlier than what I usually do, just to kind of get it out of the way. I have made top 10 videos. I know some people were asking me would I ever go back to making those kinds of videos. So I think this past week has been a pretty good indication that I probably will. I may not do like the deck tech videos that I used to do. Those were pretty long, and there's a lot of overlaying that has to be done in order to really make those videos work. But I would definitely do at least, I don't know, once a month. But I think the top 10 videos are definitely much easier. And I think people enjoy watching them just a little bit more. I enjoyed watching top 10 videos from a lot of people. Uh, Roxaboxa 90 or something like that. I think that was his name. He was one of the channels that really inspired me to do the top tens because I just remember feeling so addicted to, uh, yeah, Flash Leopard. I am back. Uh, I remember just really being addicted to watching those top 10 videos by Roxaboxen. And I really, because the whole thing is you want to kind of get the definitive idea of what you're supposed to do and going through color by color combination, sort of getting an idea, forming a consensus almost with the community on what would be the best white card, red card, blue card. It really helped you figure out what kind of deck you wanted to make. It really helped you put good cards into your deck. It's like we have a few people in here. We're just going to be looking over some MTG stocks. But going back to what you said earlier here, yeah, the LGS that I'm going to, it's kind of funny because I have a friend who doesn't want to go and do it because there's only going to be like 8 people, and the store's going to be closed off to the public after that. So he's just going to allow the 8 people in uh, through a certain entrance, and then he's going to. This is a comic book store, so you usually have a lot of people walking around there, but this is under normal circumstances. Of course, probably not going to be a lot of people there because of the whole COVID-19 crisis. People are still scared. There's new waves of it coming back. So I can understand if your LGS doesn't want to do anything pre-release related. I think the guy I'm going to see, he had like a few days set up for it too. He had like the whole weekend, but he's only able to do it on, I think, Sunday. Sunday's the agreed day. So I probably won't be making any content Sunday, or at least not anything on the day itself. I might have it scheduled, but yeah, I'll probably be at an event then. So we have some MTG stocks here. I think it's always interesting just to go through and see exactly what's changing because Commander now more than ever has an impact on card prices. So we see here we have rampant growth, but this is a Magic Player Rewards rampant growth, so it was already going to be a bit more expensive. Imagine going back to the day where you got something like this in the mail. Yeah, Drew, it sounds like your LGS is going to be like an MTG speakeasy. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. It's like going back to the days of Prohibition. You got to go through the back entrance. You're not allowed to play Magic in public. God, what a time to be alive. We have Void Slime here. Very good card. Very good card for Commander. Not really something you would want to put anywhere else, but I guess it could be good. Maybe if you want to throw it into like a limited deck. But yeah, $6. This is the Ravnica Allegiance Guild Kits version. So apparently the original, was it from Dissension? Apparently that didn't go up enough to make it on this. We have Dancing Scimitar. So this has been going up steadily for the past couple weeks. It's now almost a $30 card. It's a reserve list one, so pretty good reason for that. We have Gisela Blade of Gold Knight Commander 2015 version. A lot of these Commander cards are just expensive because the specific version of the card is harder to get. Like, there are only so many Commander 2015 decks. It's not like Gatecrash where you just have a ton of Gatecrash printed. So this version of Gisela is a little bit harder to get. Goblin Sharpshooter, one of my favorite cards in Commander. A lot of that has to do with my favorite card, my favorite Commander being Prosh, Skyraider of Care. So a fun thing you can do is just combo. If you can get like a doubling season, or really, I guess if you want to go for the food chain combo, it works as well. Because you can get infinite kobolds. You can pretty much play Prosh however many times you want to. And then you have plenty of tokens to just Goblin Sharpshoot, kill, and just ping your opponents for a ton of damage. Also, a lot of good goblins coming out too, so big reason why that's going up. Let's see if there's anybody else here. Yeah, it's a slow day. Streaming in the morning with this channel, I'm noticing that not that many people show up in the morning, but it's fine. The video will still be around for people that want to watch later. We have a couple Legends cards here. We have Gabrielle, Angel Fire, and we have Palladium Moors. Not really great Commander options, but, reserve list. Reserve list will reserve list. Champions of Kamigawa's Bosiju, who shelters all. Really cool card. $30 though. Not quite. I don't know. It's one of those things where I would probably wait for it to get reprinted because it probably will sometime soon. A lot of people are itching to return to Kamigawa, so we could get a reprint sooner than later. It's been reprinted in a From the Vault set. I forget which one, but it's really good. If you want to answer blue, it's one of those things. It's like Cavern of Souls, but for your instants and sorceries. And we have Sakashima's Student, which is, all the way from Planechase 2012, $40. I knew it was a good card. I just didn't know how good. Was this also reprinted in the newer Planechase? I don't think it was. It might have been. Balefire Dragon. I believe it got reprinted, though, from Innistrad. You got Riku. A lot of these commanders, a lot of these older Commander cards, like this is the original Commander set back in like 2011. So it's been quite some time here, like 9 years since Riku was printed. I believe he also got reprinted maybe in one of the newer Commander sets. What is this? And why am I getting recommended at 3:12 a.m.? I don't know where you are. Yeah, you're pretty far away, but I apologize if it's being recommended to you. Sometimes I get recommended videos. I have no reason why they're being recommended to me. But yeah, Riku of Two Reflections, and really a lot of these older Commander options. I love Riku specifically because you can copy shit. You have instants and sorceries you can fool around with. If you love ramp strategies, you can. He's very versatile. So if you play something like Kodama's Reach, you can copy it, get twice as many lands. You can copy land spells. You can also copy creature ETBs. You can make like an ETB deck for that reason. Also, probably the most underrated thing about it. So Riku was reprinted in the mystery boosters. I hear a lot of people say that, like the mystery boosters are like a source of reprints for like a lot of these random cards. I don't know how I feel about that. As far as like the availability though, because to me a good reprint is something that it increases the circulation of the card, I guess. how many people are able to get it. I guess the accessibility of it. So if we're being technical, then yeah, I guess it was reprinted. But an actual product that a lot of people could get, I think would be a lot better. This is a really cool card. Very cool thing is you can get around counter spells. I mean, you can still have your stuff countered, but copying instants and sorceries like win cons, so that if your opponent has a counter spell, they need multiple counter spells or they need a way to counter everything on the stack. They need like a time stop or something like that. It's very weird. Yeah, morning, everybody. Mystery boosters are insane. I just pulled a Mana Crypt. Freaking sweet. Yeah, I missed out on the mystery boosters, or I think right when I left, like 5 months ago, when I stopped making content, all of a sudden I committed channel seppuku. I left like at that moment when the mystery boosters were starting up. So I kind of missed out on that, as well as Ikoria. So we also have Exquisite Blood, but this just got a reprint. This is Jumpstart. Null Rod, Linvala, Tiny Bones. These are newer cards, so it's not really going to indicate much of change, any kind of change in the market. Since last week, we also have a change in Hannah Ship's Navigator from Masters 25 for some reason. So this is now a $9 card. So if you have Hannah Ship's Navigator, you might want to sell that. We also have the Wastes from Oath of the Gatewatch. Does anybody know why these are going up? These are now $5 a piece. That's pretty good. And these are the wastes that came in, God, was it the fat packs? It wasn't the fat packs. It had to be something like there was a certain product where you got this specific waste. It's not the full art waste, so don't get it confused. Was it like a dual deck? It's one of those rare instances where the non-full art version of a card is worth more. And it's really just as simple as availability. We have Persistent Petitioners. Oh boy, is this going to get pretty crazy. I think we all know why this is going up here. We have the new Advisor legendary creature where you get to mill twice as many. That's going to be pretty crazy. I also have Didgeridoo for Minotaurs. So we know exactly why that's going up. We have Minotaur Tribal. We also have the Hannah Ship's Navigator from Commander 2016. So that is also going up too. I don't know if there's like a combo or something brand new. Does anybody know why that's going up? Might be something Commander related. It most likely is. Words of Waste is going up. It's a $12 card now. Why exactly is that? Oh, for Tiny Bones. Probably something to do with Tiny Bones making an opponent discard, forcing them to discard just by activating that ability. Very flexible. Biorhythm. $3 from almost $2, so it went up technically. I don't know why. Nobody can really play it, can they? Trusty Retriever. I guess there's like Dog Tribal people want to play. Austere Command. For some reason, this is going up almost twice as much. So $23 for an Austere Command from Commander, specifically the Commander set. Goblin Recruiter from Anthologies. That's a $14 card. Now, a lot of good goblins. Stroke of Genius. The Urza Saga Rare is a $6 card. It's not reserveless, though. Gisela Blade Gold Knight from Commander 2015. We already saw that. Goblin Recruiter from Visions. For some reason, the Visions, the original printing, is like $6 cheaper than the Anthologies version. I don't know that much about anthologies, but usually the original printing tends to be more expensive. I think a lot of people are noticing Vito now. A lot of potential there for life gain decks. Bounty Hunter is such a cool card. Oh, Hannah is going up because it's Therese Nielsen art. Oh, yeah, she just got the boot too. It's kind of weird how that works. What does she like gain infamy now so people are seeking her artwork? So we have let's see, Warren Powerstone went up a little bit. We got a bigger mover here. Lady Evangela. I have a couple of these. So she is reserve list. She's now 75 since last week. Pretty cool. We have Gwendolyn, also really sweet. All the way up to 180. So go Oilers. You got ruined in draft yesterday by Vito. Yeah, I can't wait to play this set. Core 2021. That's actually going to be, I wouldn't say a good commander option, but if you watched my video, I was doing like a commander game. I took it down, but I was playing like a commander game with Elenda the Dusk Rose, and it was just Vampire Tribal, but life gain. So yeah, a lot of possibilities with tokens, but if you can just destroy your opponents with Sanguine Bond abilities, that card's so good. So where was I? Oh wow, we have Waste Not, going to be a big card for Tiny Bones. Didn't go up that much, but it's always one of those cards that people need in Commander. It is just a value engine. All right, so let's see what you guys are saying. Oh, Therese Nielsen art is my thing moving? Let's see. Yeah, you can still hear me. Yeah, Therese Nielsen art is pseudo reserveless now, meaning that they're just never going to use it again. I guess that's interesting for the market just to see how it reacts. Divine Intervention from Legends, $77. Oh wow, we have Zozu the Punisher going up to 6. Now here's the original from Avacyn Restored. Why did I think this was Gatecrash? Gisela Blade of Gold Knight. So now a $13 card, but the Commander 2015 version is more valuable because of because of the fact that Commander cards are a little bit harder to find for a while after a certain point. We have some Arabian Nights cards. Sakashima Student again. Airtie Wizard Adept. Really funny card. What does this indicate? Okay, yeah, so this star here indicates that it's on the reserve list, so you don't have to do any guessing work. This website is such a great website. Are Noah Bradley arts going up? I don't know. Maybe someone else in the chat will know. But yeah, this card is so fun. Like if you just want to make an old school annoying commander deck where you're just countering spells all the time. I think I tried making like a commander deck where it was nothing but cards from the 90s, and this was a commander option that I went with. It was so bad, but all we really did was just include cards that just untap Airtie. I think there was also, was it Mind Over Matter? So we can just easily discard a card, untap them, and then we're not paying any extra mana aside from the 4 mana to just counter a spell. Ooh, yeah, Stranglehold. I think this got reprinted, but it's such a good card. So underrated. It sits on the field and pretty much stops your opponents from tutoring. And we have certain cards that, like Aven Mindcensor, that prevent them from tutoring their entire library, but they can only look at like the top 4 or 5, which is really deadly in Commander. But I don't see these cards enough. They're so good. They're boring. They sit on the field and they're passive. They don't really help you immediately, but when they're good, they're really good. Oh, Heartwood Storyteller. Awesome card for group hug or really any strategy if you just want to help everybody out. It's deadly against combo decks because you're just offering everyone else at the table card draw. And if that person wants to go off, they want to keep playing non-creature spells. It's very political. It's probably one of my favorite green cards. And yeah, I love group hug. I like the more political decks just because it's not all about trying to win as quickly as possible. And something like this really it evens up the playing field. Modern Masters, City of Brass, $24 card. Wow, that's a lot more expensive than I thought. It's a cool looking artwork too. I don't know exactly if is this exclusive to the Modern Masters? Did this version of the City of Brass artwork come out in Modern Masters? It had to, right? Maybe it was a little bit before, but it looks cool. I think it even looks better than the original from Arabian Nights. We have Teferi, Master of Time, but it's a new card. Academy Rector, still going up. Surprise, surprise. Null Rod, Telekinesis. Huh. Platinum Angel. That's from M11. God, I love this card too. Resplendent Angel. I love a lot of these like life gain cards where you're just getting tokens as a reward for gaining a certain amount of life. It's like that unicorn where you're just getting more unicorns. Or is it horses? I forget, but you know the card I'm talking about. Ooh, Stone Coil Serpent. I have some of these. Oh, not the full arts though. Not the extended art. Green Sun Zenith, $17 card. You ever just stop to think about how many cards you have, how much potential money you've gained? Like how all these cards just go up in price. It's crazy. I did not think some of these cards were as expensive as they are. Luminarch Ascension for Masters 25, almost $8. Tainted Pact. Am I reading this right? Tainted Pact from Odyssey is an $80 card. Are you kidding me? They did use that City of Brass art on the boxes of that first Masters. Looked incredible on the box. That's crazy. I think I got this card when it was like $4 or $5. I got this for, oh, is it foil prices? Let's take a look at it. Yeah, no way reserve list cards going up. I know. That's a lot of what MTG Stocks is going to show you. How do I look at the foil? Okay. Foils, wow, $300, but, well, closer to 200 now. But yeah, you get foils for a lot of these older cards, early 2000s. They're going to be pretty expensive. So that's probably the biggest surprise for me today. Where did it go? Why am I all the way down here? Okay. Sorry about that. I think we're somewhere down here. It just threw me somewhere else. Not where I was before. So did something change? Or am I still on the foil prices? Yeah. I must be on the foil prices. Hold on one second. Why did it change? Huh. I was on a roll here. I was going card by card. So we went over Sakashima Student. We're at City of Brass. Academy Rector. Resplendent Angel. Where did it go? Tainted Pact. Here we are. Back to where we left off. There's another Goblin Recruiter, Classic 6th edition. We Deal and Deal. Drop of Honey. It's a fun card. God, these older cards just have sweet looking artwork. I mean, I'm not gonna trash the old City of Brass, but that's just a statement on how cool the newer one looks. Oh, this is from 7th edition, so it's similar to the one that we see from Modern Masters, but gosh, it looks really cool. This one still looks pretty decent. Mox Diamond. This one's now, God, over $300 for a Mox Diamond. I think I got one almost when it was almost 200. And I was like, gosh, this is pretty expensive, but I need it for a competitive deck. Definitely worth it if you can get reserve list cards earlier on. Visions, Vampiric Tutors, over 100. That's another one I got for practically a pittance. Flooded Grove. The original Exquisite Blood is $37. Cool color Giza. Orem's Chant. That's an interesting card. Wait, I was thinking of something else with a kicker, but this is still pretty cool. Got the Dr. Pure One, 1752. Yo, hey, how you doing? How's it going? Yeah, I'm just doing an earlier stream here. Oh, here's the Grim Tutor from Court 21. It's now under $30. I don't expect it to really be super expensive. I mean, it is in between Demonic Tutor and Diabolic Tutor. So I don't really, it should really be nowhere near Demonic Tutor, but I don't think it should be, worthless. Maybe like a $10, $15 card. If I'm being completely honest, it doesn't really see that much play. I don't think it was ever really like an insanely expensive card, but it was definitely too expensive for people to consider playing it. It's a good measurement to figure out if a card is going to retain its price, is if the demand, if it's still up there. Like, nobody's looking for Grim Tutor for their decks. They might now, just because the price is lowered. Vorinclex, over $30 for that version from Iconic Masters. Kiki-Jiki, over 20. Urza's Incubator. I haven't seen this card in a while. I don't know why a lot of decks I'm looking at, they don't seem to enjoy Urza's Incubator as much anymore. Alms Collector. I'm surprised this is actually over a $10 card. I mean, it's good, but I don't see it quite that much. Reanimate's always a good card. Cabal Coffers from Torment is over $80. So it's an $80 card pretty much. I think everybody knows about the combo with Cabal Coffers and was it Urborg? You can pretty much ensure that you get plenty of black mana with that combo. Firestorm. Oh boy. I think we know why a lot of these red cards are going to go up. If you love that a Fiery Emancipation, where you can deal triple damage. Choose and discard X cards. Deals X damage to each of X target creatures and or players. And that's just one red mana. If you have a handful of cards, you can deal it to players too. That's going to be pretty deadly. Got the new Ugin, thankfully now under $30. It was entering some pretty ridiculous territory. And I think this Ormos, yeah, new jumpstart cards, Hannah Ship's Navigator. Yeah, I think we're pretty much done all of these. Oh, since last week. So is this new? So yeah, the Hannah Ship's Navigator. I think we've been through pretty much all of these. Why is it showing me the exact same thing? Oh well. Yeah, Cabal Coffers is over $80. Let me remove that. So yeah, I'm pretty much done looking through all these. Let's see, Dr. Pure One. So I was wondering, what kind of EDH player are you? Do you like to combo out play stacks, or are you a tribal player with some elves, goblins? I would prefer to probably do the latter, but if I'm being completely honest, I think I said it earlier before you showed up. And I've always been more of a group hug guy. I've always enjoyed the more political aspect of the game. I'm really just at the end of the day, I'm in it to have a good time with my friends. Like, I could really care less about winning. I'd like to win. It's like I don't try to not win, but the goal in it for me is to have just a bunch of fun. So if I had to choose out of those, though, it would definitely be the one that would allow me to have the most fun. And I have a lot of fun in long games. So it would definitely be the tribal. So yeah, I have there's this event that I have to go to. I don't have to, but it's scheduled for Sunday. It's the pre-release for Core 21. And it's going to be kind of like a speakeasy. We joked about that earlier, where you have to go through a secret entrance. There's only like a certain amount of people allowed. I mean, it's legal to do what we're doing. We're not going to get in trouble for it, but we have to shut the store off to everyone else. So it's a comic book store too. So you'd have people coming in for like Warhammer, pick up some paint and minis. They'll come in for comics, of course. They'll come in for Hero Clicks, board games, uh, Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, Keyforge, you name it. So we won't have to deal with all those people walking around. That'll be the blessing. Uh, that'll be the only silver lining of the situation, is that we won't have to worry about people bumping into us. But it'll be kind of depressing because it'll only be like 8 people. You know, what kind of tournament is that going to really set up? Maybe only a few rounds. We got Charles here. What type or what tribe would you like to see more support for? I'm partial to dinosaurs at the moment. Huh. If I'm being completely honest, I want more support for clerics. I think clerics, you have a backbone, or not backbone. What am I saying? You have a foundation for clerics that's already strong. It already exists, but there's not like a legendary cleric that really brings everything together. And I know some people, they just pick a random tribe and say, "Well, we need more devils, or we need more Kithkin or something. Like, we need some random tribal." And the tribal support doesn't really exist for a lot of those. Like, we have the new Devil Commander option. It's a legendary creature from Jumpstart. And the thing about it is that there's not like a lot of Devil tribal support. The tribal support for clerics exists. It's just been neglected. And I remember going back to Commander 2017, we were looking at the commander options like Inala. And some people at first said, well, that could be cleric support. It just ended up being another wizard tribal commander when we already had Azami. So, yeah, clerics have been kind of neglected. There's a ton of good ones, ton of popular ones. Alms Collector is one of them. Everybody knows about Soul Warden, Soul's Attendant. Got a lot of those aristocrat-like creatures that are also clerics, and it seems to be black-white. Very interesting. But yeah, clerics. I've enjoyed making cleric decks. Like you can make cleric decks. The commander options, however, are not super synergistic with clerics. They just happen to be clerics, and I think I did the partner commanders. Uh, God, I don't even remember their names. Oh, Time to the Weaver, and was it Ravos Soul Tender? So you had the two black white partner commanders from Commander 2016. I think those two make probably the best if you want to make a commander deck around clerics. Those two are what I would recommend because clerics are not that strong, but they have a strong like tribal focus. The creatures themselves are just weak. Yeah, crab tribal. That would be pretty interesting. Doing the same thing in my LGS Void, 8-person pre-release in a closed store. That must be what people that kind of idea that people are floating around. It might have even like come from Wizards. I don't know. But yeah, we have a lot of these states that are still in lockdown. And some of the restrictions have been lifted. Like if you go to the grocery store, I don't know how it is for you guys, but they used to make you go through one entrance and one entrance only, and you'd have to leave out only one entrance just to kind of minimize, cross, I guess, traffic so people won't contaminate each other as easily. Stacks can be fun, just need to have a good closeout, but watching people's faces when the door is closing in their face is pretty great. I used to think that way too. I guess it depends if you're going up against people that are playing similar decks, but I'm usually against stacks. And that's just because I'm going up against people that are new all the time. I think there is a Satyr tribal commander option, right? Like from Theros Beyond Death. Didn't they make one? Wasn't very good. That's the problem I have with a lot of tribal. It's usually kind of half-assed, where it's just like, hey, all of your satyrs get +1/+1, or all of your creatures of the same type, they get an anthem, or they have haste. It's very simple, very boring. I want something that's a little bit more interactive. Uh, An Orzhov Cleric Tribal Legendary Mikaeus would be really cool. Yeah, Mikaeus the Unhallowed, Mikaeus the Lunarch. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. I don't know. Is Mikaeus the Unhallowed a cleric, or is he just a zombie something? I forget. But yeah, Mikaeus. If we go back to Innistrad again, you could definitely see him, or in a core set. But I love clerics. I didn't have any problems seeing like wizard support back in 2017, but the cleric support, I think it's about time we return to it. There's just a ton. You go look at like Onslaught, and there's a lot of tribal support back in Onslaught. I think around the time you also had like Slivers, but we have Patriarch's Bidding. Fantastic card for clerics. Oh my god! And there's also the cleric that you can sacrifice. I think like 5 or 6 clerics, and you get to bring out like a demon. It's really cool. Support is pretty bad. Uh, yeah, Slivers. I like Slivers, but the problem is that I think everybody knows about them. Everybody gangs up on them. They're one of the most fear-mongered creature types for some reason, and they're good when they have an established board. But that's sort of the thing. Everybody fear-mongers them, and you're not really allowed to develop a board. And then once your board is dealt with and your board wiped, I don't think people realize this, but the Sliver deck usually has a poor time recovering. LOL, I just remember standing up after 5 hours of gameplay and yelling, "Why is it always stacks, Mike?" 5 hours of gameplay. Usually wouldn't take that long for my play group to be fed up. We got EDH School. Thank you for making videos again. Because of you, I started a channel teaching new players how to play EDH. Thanks again. That's awesome. I love hearing that. If I could get in contact with Roxa Boxen, who was the guy that did a lot of EDH top 10s before me. This was back in 2013, 2014. I'd like to tell him pretty much the same thing. It's a lot of fun. It's just people on the internet talking about their favorite game. And you already have a bunch of YouTubers that talk about video games. But it's kind of in the same, same vein. Same vein of interest for people that, they just want to talk about the mechanics. They want to explain it to people. There's always new people joining in on Commander games. And that's something I always like doing in public. If I have new people showing up, and that's why I do tend to favor, I guess you could say, lower powered decks like Group Hug. Is because I can interact with people. That's one of the most underrated things about Group Hug, is that the interaction player to player, it goes up significantly. If I'm just focused on my own win con, it's harder for me to really look at the other player and help them out. I might have removal, but other than that, I can't really do anything with other players. If I have a way to help them out, and this is why I love, what's that black tutor, the 1-mana black tutor, where it's basically Vampiric Tutor for 2 players. That card is perfect in Commander. There's also the Snake Eternal Witness, where it's Eternal Witness, but it's for 2 players, you and another player. Those cards are fantastic. It wasn't Shadowborn Apostle, but it's similar. It's like it's only for clerics. Oh, God, I have to find it. Maybe I can pull up an image of it. I'll be right back. I just had to look up cleric that sacrifices to get a demon, because I don't remember what the card's name is. It's a cool card, too. Is it a demon or an avatar? Hold on. Okay, it's Scion. Scion of Darkness is the avatar that you can get. Let me share my screen. So this is it right here. Dark Supplicant. 1 black mana for a cleric. Kind of a pain because you need haste or some kind of haste enabler to tap and sacrifice 3 clerics. So it's only 3. I was confusing the ability with something like Shadowborn Apostle, where you had to sack 5. Sacking 3. You search your graveyard, hand, and or library for a card named Scion of Darkness and put it into play. If you search your library this way, shuffle it. Very interesting. And Scion of Darkness, it's a cycling creature. Very easy to overlook this. But if you can tutor it up and just put it into play, it's a big 8-mana creature. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, you get to put target creature card from that player's graveyard into play under your control. It's such a cool, it's a fun mechanic. That's why I love clerics. It's why I love certain decks where you just have that specific interaction. It's kind of like, the Newt, the Bogbrew Witch, and the Bubbling Cauldron. Very specific interactions, card to card. It's fantastic. And yeah, it's not really a super powerful thing to have in Commander, even if you get the Scion of Darkness out there. but it's just cool. It's flavorful. You have the guy praying to an altar, summoning this avatar. I thought it was a demon. It looks like a demon. That's got to be like a demon avatar. If not, it's just an avatar. Yeah, Scheming Symmetry is the card I was talking about a minute ago. It's the Vampiric Tutor, pretty much for 2 players. If you had to choose either Alara, Kamigawa, or Lorwyn to go back to, which one would it be? That's a very tricky one. I would say probably Kamigawa sooner than later, just because we have the shrine support now, and that would be a lot more fun if we had more shrines and we saw the shrines in Kamigawa. As far as a set that I think would really sell well, probably returning to Alara, just because I don't know, it was really cool because you had the 3-color. I don't know, it might be a little different. I think Lorwyn has a lot of possibilities. Have a lot of cool artwork from back in Lorwyn. Scion of Darkness is why our moms were worried about us playing this game. LOL. Oh, wait. Yeah, what is it called? Unholy Strength. That's the card. That's the card, burning pentagrams in the background. There's a lot of, there's a history of people not exactly enjoying the artwork in the game. If you look up some of the reasons why cards have been banned in certain countries, it's like almost always China. Because China has this thing where you can't really depict the dead. It's a completely different culture, but you can't really have skeletons. Can't have zombies in certain situations. Like if you're depicting like blood and gore, in some cases it's not allowed. It's a culture where you can't really have I don't know. But there was this really like there's a lot of cool artwork with skeletons, and it got eroded. I have to find out. I'm just gonna Google search it because it's really cool. It is a form of censorship, but in certain cases, I guess I just have to directly look up censorship. All right. Well, I don't know how easy it's going to be to find it. Have you seen the Zodiac cards? They're a cool idea for MTG. I don't believe so. Are they new or have they been around for a while? Okay, so here's some of the examples of cards that have been changed for China. So this is what Wicked Pact. I don't know the reason why this one got changed. Is it like a demonic prayer thing? This is the one I'm talking about. Charcoal Diamond. Wait for it to focus in. So you need like a fully, full human hand here in order for this card to be allowed in China. And the original version, I think this is cool though. I really think it's cool to have. This would be cool as a collectible just to show people. Oh, and this one's kind of for racial reasons, but Horned Turtle. They changed the race on the character for China. Or at least that's what I think. I mean, it's the most obvious difference. We have Elven Cash. They replaced, I guess it's because maybe it might be considered loot over there. But they replaced it with a creepy looking kid. I don't know. Yeah, they sound pretty old. Oh yeah, I mean you go anywhere in entertainment, games, pop culture. There's a huge market. That's the thing that we always run into because the Chinese economy, big time money, big time money for something like Magic the Gathering. So while the average person over here would be like, why would they ever dream of doing that? Yeah, money rules the world. This is Google Images. I just looked it up. Google Images just to kind of get a good idea. You know, all the cards I could find. I think, yeah, a lot of these are older too. This isn't the one from China, but yeah, 1993. Get the unholy strength with the burning pentagram in the back, and it looks like a bunch of negative space in the newer version. I think Therese Nielsen also did an unholy strength, and that's probably going to be gone. Trying to find some really good ones. Maybe you have to go all the way back to the top. Yeah, here's one. Uh, Unworthy Deal, Unworthy Dead. So the Chinese version had to be, you have to have flesh on it. This is more skeletal. It's very, I don't know. It's interesting. Was this more of a, oh, they had to take it angel. Had to alter this angel for whatever reason. Yeah, this might be something that people get into. They collect after reserve list cards. You go collect foreign cards specifically because they'll probably not be reprinted in the same way. But anyway, guys, I think I'm probably going to wrap it up here soon. Uh, if you guys know anything new, any newer forms of, I guess not censorship, but I guess they just altered it, feel free to let me know. What is this? Is it Scathe Zombies? Yeah, zombies, skeletons seems to be a big no-no. What do we have here? Oh, dim your house card. I don't think that had to be changed. Did it? So Chinese alternate art version, what did they really change? Oh wow. They took away the nose hole. They took away the nose hole for the Chinese version. That's so weird. Are they playing it safe? Alrighty, thank you all for showing up. Probably gonna end it here. Had a good time just looking through all these cards again. Yeah, signing off. Have a good one.